Gather around the campfire. It's time for the Love and Hip Hop New York Season 4, Episode 8. Review, recap, and opinion by Meat Magazine. And this episode is titled Girls with Guns. The show starts out at Fashion Week in Chelsea, New York City with Tahiri and Joe Budden. Tahiri is minding her own business, having pictures taken by photographers who thought that she was someone important. When out of nowhere, Joe Budden pops up like Freddy Krueger. And I've never seen Joe acting this desperate. He's sucking up to Tahiri's hanging ass, trying to get back with her at all costs. And the only thing that he's getting for all of that ass kissing is farts. But forget all of that. I'm just trying to figure out why Joe is dressed like a gay man's couch from the 80s. Last year, it was his infamous vest collection, and he's continuing the tacky clothing choices tradition this year with an assortment of just the ugliest shirts I've ever seen. Pretty much, according to Tahiri, the world's most annoying couple is over because she is through with being Joe's cum bucket. And of course, that's bullshit. Tahiri will be back with Joe Budden pretending to leave him long after that they're living in a nursing home, driving the staff crazy. But one of my favorite parts of the scene is the extremely suspect facial expressions and laugh from Joe Budden. Sister Budden was selling himself hard to Tahiri. She must have been a good makeup person for Joe when he dresses up as Joanne. Seriously, if that man doesn't have enough sugar in his tank to win cake wars, I tell you. Anyway, my favorite part of the scene is the tacky outfits that the runway models are wearing. Or should I say runaway models. Run away from those dicks on their heads. I can't be the only one to notice the vibrators that they were wearing at the end of the show. Yandy should have been there. In the next scene, we visit Central Park in New York City. Amina Butterfly is having a picnic with her sister Sophie, who flew in all the way from Germany to meet up with Amina. They are discussing Amina's mess of a life. And get this, Sophie implies that Amina is a homewrecker. In fact, a serial homewrecker. She told her that she tends to find herself in messy, disgusting, and dysfunctional relationships anyway, so this is nothing new. Amina is still completely delusional to Peter's infidelity. She lets Sophie know that she still thinks that Peter goes over to Tara's house and stays overnight for his sons and not for the circles. Well, I guess she's still in denial for now. In the next scene, we are at a photo shoot with the two fake lesbians at Jean Ricard's studio in Midtown, New York City. This photo shoot must have been for a Mexican maternity line because these two Latinas look pregnante. Sin looks 2 months pregnant and Erica looks about a good 3.5. But forget all of that. In this scene, Erica hid a necklace in her bathing suit for Sin to dig out. She must have had a magnet in her implants because it stayed up there in her fake chest region and thankfully didn't fall into that portal puss between her legs. The funny thing about this scene is when Sin Santana holds up the necklace to Erica's chest and says, "It's the same one that you have." Wow, so let's get this straight. Erica hit up a buy one get one free sale and put that chain to the side. And now she's giving this little costume jewelry to the Chipotle chipmunk. Erica just gets worse and worse every single day. You see, she's using the slightly sloppy Sin, and she needs to give her gifts, little doggy treats if you will, whenever she needs something from her. And today she has bad news, and the bad news is that she in fact signed the contract with Rich Dollars. Sin was of course pretty pissed off by this news. In fact, she was so pissed she whipped her dick out and let Erica Mena know that she better stop that thirsty Rich when he tries to mix business with pleasure because she knows that he will try. Yeah, and like I said before, Sin gives me the psycho vibe, so protect your neck, Erica. If you look at Sin's eyes and listen to her voice, she's a nutcase. She'll be on Snap blaming the murder that she committed on her split personality in no time. Just you watch. In our next scene, we visit Covo Trattoria Pizzeria in Harlem, New York City. Tara is meeting up with K. Michelle. Why, you ask? Well, Tara wants some relationship advice from K. Michelle of all people. And I'm left thinking that receiving relationship advice from K. Michelle is like asking a rapist for tips on how to spice things up in the bedroom. Anyway, K. Michelle told Tara that her situation is, quote, messy, and that as far as Tara staying with Peter for 13 years goes, she doesn't stay with people for 13 days, and that includes pregnancies. Something Tara can relate to. Now, why in the world would you consult a woman who lives in a haunted house, has no man, ditches relationships before the 2-week anniversary, and refers to her vagina as a woo-ha? We may never know. In reality, Tara just wanted an excuse to go out and show off her new fake phony tail that she's wearing in this scene. So K. Michelle tells Tara that she needs to talk with Amina and Peter, but she tells her to dress prepared to fight, with Timberland boots, Vaseline on her face, a gun in a holster, a freshly sharpened knife, a harpoon, a spear, a blowgun, some matches, a lantern, a sand and salt mixture to throw into her eyes, 6 ninja stars, hollow point bullets, a syringe full of AIDS, a metal detector, a shovel, a crossbow, and don't forget to put your hair up. Okay. Maybe she didn't say all of that, but she was thinking it. But thank you, Kimberly, for giving a single mother street fighting advice. You must have made the hood rat honor roll. You must be the first in your family to get a 4-point GP hoe and bad advice. You fucking ghetto gagger graduate. I mean, seriously, why is she even on the New York version? Didn't your album flop? So now we're at Daddy's House Studios in Midtown New York City with Rich Dollars and Wyclef Jean of the Fugees. He's the one that stole the money from Haiti. Anyway, Rich let Wyclef know that he'll suck him till his sack collapses if he waits there in the studio and says hi to Erica Mena when she shows up. And right before Wyclef can turn to Rich and cuss him out and smack him for offering his throat, Erica the Weasel pops up. So Wyclef plays it cool, ear kisses with Erica, then runs out holding his ass. Erica sits her loose booty down, and Rich turns on a flop record. Not a pop record, but a flop record. Erica Mena's newest failure song. And these two believe that it's a guaranteed hit. Yes, a hit record. They just forgot the S because it's a shit record. I think Erica Mena and Rich Dollars are right. They think that this song, Dancing All Over the World, is about to be a big hit. It's going to be a big hit in recycling bins everywhere. That shit better be biodegradable. So Rich gives Erica the news that he dumped Peter for her. Then Rich tells his flop star girlfriend to come sit on his lap like he's Santa Claus or some shit. So she sits down and he looks her in the eyes and he says, ho ho ho. No, okay. She sits down on his lap and they begin kissing. Too bad that hood rat Sin Santana didn't walk in. She would have stopped Rich Dollars flattered in her EBT card. Her WIC card. Women, Infants, and Chipotle. Rich is so disrespectful, it thinks so little of Sin that he claims ownership to Erica and says that she'll always be his sex slave. Then proceeds to motorboat her. Yes, he stuck his waffle-colored face into Erica's fake, funky press-on breast. Now, that's a brave man. I'd be scared to lose my face in there. Now we're with Amina and Peter at Platinum Sound Studios in Midtown New York City. They're listening to a terrible song titled The Pankies. And I'm thinking to myself, The Pankies sounds like a gang that Cameron would have been in 10 years ago. But no, this wasn't a throwback record. This is a throw out record. At what point of making The Pankies did these fools think that it even sounded remotely good? The crazy thing about it is that Peter was the man in the 90s. He sold over 1 million copies on his first single, was nominated for a Grammy, Ghost wrote music for Shaq, and even did a song with Mariah Carey. And now he's sleeping on couches, washing people's cars at red lights, scratching for crack, and slinging dick for a place to stay. Anyway, Tara pops up and lets Amina know that she has in fact been sleeping with Peter. And in her words, she sits on it whenever she wants. And when she told him to come over and eat her corn and make her butter melt, eat her pussy and make her he definitely did so. And she even told Amina that Peter's head game is on point. How on point, you ask? She told Amina that Peter can suck a beach ball through a coffee straw. Now, I don't know what that means, but it drove Amina crazy. My boo Amina starts crying and carrying on, and her crying voice just scared the hell out of me. She sounded like an ape giving birth. I mean, the sound that she was making was high pitched and disturbing. One part of me said, damn, if I was there, I'd just hold her so tight. Amina is such a nice girl, and she doesn't deserve this treatment from anyone. And then the other part of me said, someone tell this bitch to shut the fuck up. Peter attempts to sweep his infidelity under the rug by stating that Tara is going through a lot. I guess that's his best excuse that he could come up with. But the best part of this scene is that Tara is making sure that we all know that she just doesn't care at all whatsoever about Amina's feelings. And I'm thinking, does Tara not realize or not care that her sons have to go to school and have them bad kids picking at them about their mother slapping people, committing adultery, and letting homeless men go raw and skeet inside of her on TV? Yeah, they'll never live this down. And the funny thing about it is that just a few weeks ago, Tara was cutting Peter's stuff up with a pair of scissors, holding the open scissors by the blade. Now she's acting all high and mighty. But don't worry, Tara, aka idiot number one, your trashy ass will be crying on TV again in no time. So have fun laughing at my sweet little butterfly for now. Amina is highly upset. She claims to want to leave Peter over him cheating. And when I say leave, I mean out of the room for less than a minute. Amina walks out of the room and then ends up coming right back after she puts some Visine in her eyes to make it stream down her face to fake like she's crying. No, I'm kidding. She was crying for real. Amina is such a nice lady that when she comes back, she asks Tara to let her talk to her husband. She could have told her, Tara, you need to get out of this room. You know, considering that she just admitted to sitting on his mouth. But Amina is too nice for all of that. And as polite as she was to Tara, asking for permission to speak to her own husband, Tara says, sure. Then picks up her pocketbook, and as she's walking out of the door, she says, maybe someday I'll stop your husband. Now, what kind of mother of two boys who's a professional in the workplace says stuff like that? It's not like Amina's some foul-mouthed bitch or something. She's a super nice person. I'm talking kindergarten teacher nice. I'm talking willing to breastfeed a stranger's baby nice. I'm talking so nice that she'd give a homeless man a hand job just to make his day better and lick her fingers clean nice. Okay, maybe not that nice. Anyway, after some yelling back and forth, and Peter trying to psychologically screw with Amina's brain as usual, she leaves in a huff. Such a huff that she hits herself in the back with the door. And I'm very concerned with Amina's safety and well-being. No, not because of the doors attacking her, but because of her sweating issue. Remember the other episode where she was wearing that little gray dress and her armpits and her back were soaked with all of that stinky, funky sweat? Well, in this scene, her armpits were so wet she must smell like an African cab driver. Wait, she is half African. Moving along. Now we're in the studio with the oldest and flattest ass on the show, Jade DeNiro. And she's pretending to rap at Quad Recording Studio in Midtown, New York City. I'm convinced that she's not a rapper but a therapist that the show hired to consult Miss Clueless, formerly known as Yandy Smith. Because whenever we see her, the conversation seems to be less about music and more about dating drug dealers who are locked up and are gonna never get out. So Yandy shows up to this fake studio session to ask Jade DeNiro about what she thinks will happen with Mendices rhymes with feces. Jade DeNiro lets Yandy know that Mendices is never coming out, and if he did, he suffered from TBS, tunnel butt syndrome. No, but seriously, why the hell does this Jade DeNiro trick have such a little forehead? I am offended by the minuscule size of her fucking forehead. It's just not right. Proportions, bitch. A normal forehead is like 30% of a face, not 10. That's a little one head. It's not a damn forehead. It's just not right. She looks like if I pet her, her whole head would come off. And then to make it even worse, cat head is covered with wrinkles. Yeah, a million wrinkles on that little ass forehead. Looking like a little notepad. Ugh, she gives me gas. Anyway, Jade DeNiro lets Yandy know that Medici's being released is like Chris Bosh's sexuality. He'll never come out. And she better invest in a really good dildo. Now, Erica Mena is visiting Rich Dollars at his apartment. And Erica is still acting thirsty about Rich and dick in general. Erica tells Rich that she stopped by to say hello to his doorman. Rich tells her that he wouldn't be surprised. That's when you know you're a whore. Your ex-boyfriend is all like, yeah, you want to fuck the doorman too. What a slut. Oh well, at least she's extra pretty. So Erica lets Rich know that he needs to stop playing games and let her know whether or not he is going to take her back. She implies that she is just with Sin Santana until Rich gives her all of his money. I mean his heart. Now, Rich would love to have a threesome, but Jade DeNiro has more forehead than Rich has game. So Erica lets him know in so many words that if he steps up and gives Erica Mena a title such as girlfriend, she will break up with Cynthia and get back with him if she survives breaking up with Cynthia. But Rich is playing hard to get for now. Now we have to take a quick visit to John's Pizzeria in Jersey City, New Jersey. Joe Budden's ex-crack fiend mama, Faye, is celebrating 25 years of being clean from that crack. Yep, Joe Budden's mama, Faye, was sucking that glass. Yup, Joe Budden's mama used to be Pookeisha. I just want to know why she has her hair in them braids. Her hair is breaking like the inside of Mendici's ass right now. Anyway, Joe Budden pops up out of thin hair, I mean thin air, looking like a gay soldier. He has on this tight little pink camouflage hoodie. Yes! He looked like a man at war with his sexuality. Don't ask, don't tell, Budden. Joe is like every girl's gay friend who hasn't come out of the closet yet. And it's like, we all know about the pink elephant that's in the room, but Tahiri has been a loyal beard for years now. And I have a feeling that Joe has that detox dick. Never gonna come out. Anyway, Joe and his mother got down on their knees and kissed Tahiri's big sloppy hanging ass and tried to get her to come back to Sammy Suspect. I mean Joe Budden. The man the rap world has been calling gay since 2003. Just don't ask what his hit single Pump It Up was really about. Just like Rich with Erica, Tahiri is trying to play hard to get for now. But we all know how long that will last. So now we're at Melissa Me in the Flatiron District of New York City. Yandy, K. Michelle, and Tara are celebrating Tara's birthday. She's about 36 years old on paper with a 56-year-old turkey neck. And this scene should be a show on BET. And the show should be titled White Women, Here I Come. Now, before you crazy black women want to attack me, let me explain why I say this. We have Yandy here, who has a man in jail getting the innards of his ass beat like pancake batter. K. Michelle, who was violent, a fake redhead, a pseudo-psychologist who can't keep her hands nor her flowers to herself, yet can tell everyone else what they need to do with their lives. And then we have Tara, a nearly 40-year-old harlot addicted to adultery, pill popping, and scissor stabbing, who's a psychopath to boot. So yeah, I'm gonna marry me an Asian woman. At least. Tara is bragging to the girls about how she has been committing adultery with Peter, and even K. Michelle with her old busted baseball glove looking pussy having self is disgusted. K. Michelle made Tara swear on crackers, cheese, grape Kool-Aid, and her Plan B pill stockpile that she is done sleeping with Dirty Feet Peter. And Tara replied by saying, yeah, bitch, sure, whatever. We all know that the only time that Tara closes her legs around Peter is when she wraps them around his neck or his waist. So you know her being away from Peter won't last very long. A day at best. Anyway, come to find out, Yandy is in pre-production for a film and she wants Tara to come and audition for a part in the movie. And if the role is a struggling no-name actress that no one cares about, that's almost 40 years old, an adulterer, emergency contraceptive addict with a filthy ex-boyfriend of 13 wasted years that climbs through her window like bruh man from the fifth floor, that sleeps on her couch, then yeah, she'll be perfect for the role. In our next scene, Erica goes to Felipe Chow in Midtown New York City. Al B, Erica's completely straight friend, is there to give her some much needed advice. Wait a minute, did I say that Al B is straight? I meant to say flaming. I'm talking on fire like a faulty wire. I mean, he's so gay he makes himself feel uncomfortable. Erica is crying to this gay dude extra hard, and the vein in her forehead almost ejaculates everywhere. I mean, her forehead is about to skeet, 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 skeet. Now, this crazy woman has been crying a lot lately because she just can't get things right. You know, Erica Mena is a fuck up. Pick a bridge, Erica. You know you want to. Just jump right in the water. Make it easier on yourself. Just kidding. Long story short, he told this idiot that she is doing stupid stuff to put herself in shaky situations, and Sin might end up on Snapped after offing Erica and Rich. I totally agree, Albie. She sure is an idiot. In our final scene, we're at Bikram Yoga, New York City, on the Upper West Side of New York City. Peter, the pussy eater, is standing out there in the rain holding flowers. And Amina Butterfly pops up ready to do some yoga and stretch and bend and sweat. What she always does. Peter once again attempts to manipulate the mind of my sweet little Amina. And she let him know that she is not having it. And that she wants him to wear that cheap ring, stay away from Tara, and let her meet the children. And you know what they say. A vampire can only enter your home if you invite them in. And Tara's rules were no vampires in the house or around her children. So unless Tara changes her mind, that may never happen. The best part of this scene is Amina's boobs in that little green shirt. I had to point that out. Anyway, Amina, if you're going to be with a bum who sleeps on couches, divorce Peter and marry me. I don't cheat and I rub feet. Well, that was pretty much it for this episode. If I offended you, then good. I'm usually more offensive, so I'll try harder next time. See you soon for the next review, and don't forget to comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more reviews, recaps, and opinions. And if you like it, share the video on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, MySpace, or two cans with a string in the middle. In other words, tell a fucking friend. And make sure to tune into my radio show because I'll be interviewing people from Love and Hip Hop.